Hi everyone, this is Shravanti. I am pursuing my MCA in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bangalore. Today, my topic is Game Wishlist Database. Let's know what is Game Wishlist. Game Wishlist. In this presentation, explore unmet desire in a modern gaming. We will examine innovative gameplay mechanics and graphics, storytelling and a depth and social expenses will be a key topic. We also look at cross-platform and independent game development. Coming to the innovation of gamings, where we are now. Early days, gaming began with a simple arcade titles. This early games focused on high scores. Console era. Console brought a gamings to the house, graphics and gameplay become more advanced. Today in today gaming includes online multiplayers and expensive open worlds. Coming to the year diagram, we are having a user table and wishlist table, games table and developers table. Where users are connected to the wishlist, a user can have a multiple games on their wish list, but each entity in the wish list corresponds only one user, where and games are connected to the wish list. A game can be added to many user wish lists, but each wish list entire corresponds to only one game, where games has a developers. Each game is developed by a single developer, but developer can have a multiple games. Here, user ID is in a foreign key and game ID is in a foreign key and developer ID is in a foreign key, where foreign key is also known as a unique key. Next, coming to the database. I have created a user table using a user ID in primary key or int increment. Username varchar not null unique. Email varchar not null unique. Created at timestamp default current timestamp close bracket, and created a developers table by using developers ID in primary key auto increment. Next, developer name varchar not null unique. Country varchar close bracket. And next I have created a games table considering with game ID in primary key auto increment and title varchar not null. Generation varchar release date. Price decimal 10, 20. Developers ID int. The foreign keys are developer ID reference to the developer ID. And next I have created a table wishlist. Wishlist consists wishlist ID in primary key auto increment. Next user ID int. Game ID int. Added at timestamp default current timestamp. The foreign keys are user ID reference to the user ID on delete cascade. Next foreign key is game ID reference game ID on delete cascade close bracket. I have inserted a samples to the user. Insert into username, mail, and the values are gamer123 and the email ID is gamer123 at example.com. Gamer X player X at example.com. Next, inserted a samples to the developer. Inserted into the developer's name, country. The values are Nintendo, Japan, CD, Jocket Red, HoloLand, and From Software, Japan. And inserted a sample to the games. Insert into the game. Title, generation, release date, price, developer ID, values. The legend, the title is Cyberpunk 2077 and the generation is RPG. Release date is 2020 December 10th and the price is 49.99 and the developer ID is 2. Next coming to the title Elden Ring and the generation is Action RPG. Release date is 2022 to 25 and the price is 59.99, developer's ID is 3. Next, I have inserted a small sample to the wishlist entities. Insert into the wishlist. User ID, game ID. The values are 1, 1 is in a user ID and the game ID. Next, 1, 3. User ID and the game ID. The user ID is 2 and the game ID is 2. Next, coming to the queries. First query. Retrieve all the games and their developers. Select G title as in a game title and G dot generation, G dot release date, G dot price, G dot developers name from a games G. Join developers D on G dot developers ID is equals to D dot developers ID. The output is games title is equal to the Legend of Elzad. Generation is adventure. Release date is 2017 March and 3. The price is 59.99. Developer's name is Nintendo. Next, game title Cyberpunk 2077. The generation is RPG. Release date is 2020 December 10th. Price is 49.99. Developer's name is CD Jacket Red. Then game title Elden Ring. Generation is Action RPG. Release date is 2022 to 25. The price is 59.99 from software. Next, coming to the second query. Select u.username, g.title as a game title, g.generation and g.release date, g.price from a wishlist W. Join user u on w.user_id is equal to u.user_id. Join game G on w.game_id is equal to g.game_id. Join developers D on g.developers_id is equal to d.developers_id, where u.username is equal to gamers123. The outcome of this query is username gamer123 and the game title is The Legend of Zenland. Generation adventure. Release date 2017 March 3. The price is 59.99 and the developer's name is Nintendo. The next username gamers123. The title is Elden Ring Action RPG and the release date is 2022 to 25 and the price is 59.99 and the developer's name is From Software. Coming to the third query, find all the users who are added to the specific game to the wishlist. Select u.username g.title as a game title w.add at from wishlist W. Join user u on w.user_id is equal to u.user_id. Join games G on w.game_id is equal to g.game_id, where G title is equal to Cyberpunk 2077. The output of this query is username player X and the game title is Cyberpunk 2077, added at 2024 February 21 at 12 o'clock 36 minutes and 45 seconds. Coming to the fourth query, the list all the games released after a certain date. Select a title, generation, release date and the price from a game, where release date 2020 January 1. The output of this query is title Cyberpunk 2077 and the generation is RPG and release date is 2020 December 10th. Next title Elden Ring, generation is Action RPG, the release date is 2022 to 25. And next coming to the last query, count how many games each developer has. Select d.developer's name, Count G dot game ID as number of games from a developer's D. Left join game G on D dot developers ID is equal to G dot developers ID. Group by D dot developers name. Developers name Nintendo. The number of game is 1. CD Project Red. The number of game is 1. The From Software. The number of games is 1. Thank you.